Number 9, Charlotte is 4/5 as tall as her mother, who is 120 centimeters tall. How tall is Charlotte? Well, it wasn't until after I printed this question out and then did it myself that I give this number some thought. Okay, and it's good to sometimes think about a question. So 120 centimeters, that's just a meter stick would have 100 centimeters, so it's just a little bit taller than a meter stick. So for most of us, our mothers wouldn't be 120 centimeters tall. But out of curiosity, I decided to look up Little People of America, which is just something I Googled. And it says, Little People of America defines dwarfism as a medical or genetic condition that usually results in an adult height of 4 feet and 10 inches or shorter. It also goes on to say that the average height of an adult with dwarfism is 4 feet. And this is actually approximately 4 feet tall. So it could be a real example, although this would not be applicable for most of us. So anyhow, getting back to the question, like the previous question, we want to define our variable and use this variable. So let x represent how tall Charlotte is. Okay, and there's a couple ways you could do this. I know a lot of you once again just try to do the question without an x, and I understand that's fine, but we're gonna have to try to think of techniques as we move forward to use x. Okay, so it says Charlotte is 4/5 as tall as her mother, who's 120 centimeters tall. Okay, so that's x equals 120 multiplied by 4/5. Okay, because she's a fraction of her height. Okay, and we just have to simplify this. So this would be 120 over 1 times 4/5. Okay, and then from here, what we can do is cross cancel. So 5 goes into 120. Well, let's do it over here. 5 goes into 120. So 5 goes into 12 twice. So 5 times 2 is 10. You subtract that, that's 2. Bring down the 0. Okay, 5 goes into 24 times. Okay, and that's 20 here with a remainder of 0. So we'll cross that off to have 24, and this will be 1. Okay, and at this stage we just multiply, so the numerator 24 times 4, which will give us 24 times 2 is 48, and 48 times 2 is 96. Okay, so all I did there was I took 24 on the side, okay, and I multiplied it by 2, and by 2 again, because this 2 times 2 is equal to 4. Okay, that's just a good way to mentally do this a little quicker. Okay, and that's 96. And it will be over 1, so I'm just going to leave it as 96 instead of 96 over 1. So you can say, therefore, Charlotte is 96 centimeters tall. Also, you could have done this a slightly different way by still using the variable x. Okay, so you could have done 4/5 is equal to, okay, now the 5 is, this will be, this is proportional. We haven't done a lot of proportions yet in this course, although you may have seen it in a previous course. Okay, but the denominator is referring to Charlotte's mom, and the top to Charlotte. Okay, so we know Charlotte's mom is, just look back, 120 centimeters tall. Okay, so therefore we're looking for x up here. And there's a couple of ways we can do this. You can figure out 5 times what will give you 120. Well, we already established that on the previous page, which is 24. So we could multiply this numerator by 24, and that will give us our answer as 96 as well. And those who know how to cross multiply, you can do that here as well. So you can cross multiply and divide, but I won't show that case right now, as we'll learn that more in depth in the future.